everyone, and welcome to our little hobby nook. In today's video I am going to go through all of our completed pages from January. So here is my bullet journal for the year, and here is our stats. So I completed 11 pictures in January, and Shane managed 2. We managed to get 6 untouched books coloured. We did purchase 11 new books, and we ended the month with 26,009 followers over on Instagram. And then this is just a list of the new books that we got in January. So I'm just going to flip to this page and pop it aside. So we are going to start with Tiny Year, and I did this one, the January Tinies on Shelves page. So I used Arteza Expert pencils, Black Widow pencils, some Posca for some little details and the dots and lines and things, and some random gel pens that I raided from our daughter's stash. So you can sort of see the glitter there and the snowflake, and then there's some bits and pieces. So these gold bits are glittery, they're not quite showing up, but there's a little bit there on the clock there, kind of shining in the camera. So yeah, I started it off and it was looking very Christmassy, but we had just had Christmas obviously, and I was still in a Christmassy mood, so I thought, well, start with Christmas and then bring in just a bunch of random colours. I didn't really have a colour palette in mind. I just picked some colours and just added them in various spaces, and just so that it all went together really. So that was Tiny Year by Colour in Heaven, and the artist is a Go to Pop. You can find her designs on her Etsy. Next up we have Small Victories by Johanna Basford, and I did 3 pages in here. So I did this one, very simple colour palette, just messing about really. There is some glitter in there, not that you can see it very well. There's some glitter gel pen things on there. Hold on, let me see. So I have these printed out that I have in all of my books, just so I can write the page title, mediums, obviously date finished, and who coloured it, because obviously it's not just me colouring in all my books, and it's so we can look back on it throughout the year. So I used Brute Fiona round pencils on this one. These are my daughter's pencils, and I just wanted to have a play really. And then Posca, and then like I say, there's a little bit of gold gel pen on there. Then I did this one, which is very bright colours, and then you can see the glitter on the black windows. So this one I used Castle Arts Soft Touch pencils, the pastel tints by Castle Arts, Posca, and like I say, the black gel pen. And this one was very bright. It's just, again, just a random colour palette. It just came out super bright and colourful, which is what I like. And then in January I started buying some Albrecht jewelries. I've seen lots of people using them and I was getting a bit of FOMO and I wanted some, so our local art store stocks them. So I just went in and I purchased just a random 10 colours, and I thought, well, throw them all on here. So there was a yellow, orange, red. I think I did 4 greens and 2 blues, I believe, something like that. So yeah, just had a little play. I did a base colour and then activated it with water, and then went over and just did a little bit of shading with them dry over the top. And they were so fun to use. So they are currently being bought as and when we go past the shop and when I can afford them, really, because they are quite pricey pencils. But yeah, they are lovely. So I have started to get a little collection going. They're just on my desk here, and in this box I think I've got 40 now. I want to say 40, maybe 50. So yeah, love those. So that was, sorry, Johanna Basford's Small Victories. Next up we have Boule de Poire by Diane Defoe. I absolutely love this book, and this is one of my project books for this year. And the page that I did for January was this cute polar bear page, and I love it. So I used Prismacolors. The background was done using soft pastels. I've just got the basic Mungyo, is that how you pronounce it? Mungyo pastels. There is some white Posca. There is some Winsor & Newton ink just splattered on there. And what else? Oh, and there's some glitter paint pen on there. I have no idea what these were, these sort of like humpy bits. So I just basically made them look like they were in the shadow, and then on the tops just added like from the light hitting from the night sky, and then obviously added it to the tops of the snow on the mountain, and then a little bit on the face of the polar bear. And yeah, I really like this page. Super cute, and I really need to colour some more in this book because it's a fairly new one to us. So the only other page I've done is this one, which I did last December. So yep, so that was Boule de Poire by Diane Defoe. Next up we have Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. This is her compilation book with 11 new drawings. This one is for Shane mainly, so he can colour some of her artwork as well without having to use the other books, colour in the other books. Obviously he has access to all of the books, but this way he can colour the same sort of pages that I've already coloured as well. Plus obviously we've got some new drawings in here that aren't in any of the others. So this page was coloured by Shane. Let's see, and it was this page here, and he used the Derwent Inktense pencils to base everything. He even based the background, but it wasn't quite working to what he wanted. And I've got to admit, I was sitting there and I was going, what the hell are you doing to my book? But it just shows you have to trust the process. Just move this out of the way because it's in the corner and it's annoying me. So yeah, it just shows that you really have to trust the process. And then once he'd done all the Inktense, he went over with Prismacolors just over the top, and then added in some white Posca just on the gems there. So I'll bring you in so you can have a little look. But yeah, he didn't really have a colour palette in mind, really, just went with it, and he was playing. I think that was the first time that he's properly used the Inktense pencils. He's done like a few little bits here and there, but never like a full-on page. So that was Grains of Gold by Helen Shane. Next up we have Magical Dawn by Helen Shane, and this one I did. Let me see. So it was this potion bottle page, and I'm not sure if I actually like it, to be fair. I basically got some distress inks from Tim Holtz for Christmas, and they were just dry. They were really dry. They were hard work to put on here. As you can see, there's not really much like ink on there, and that was me having to put lots and lots and lots of layers. Normally if you get a bit where I've seen people and they put it on and it's tons of ink on the page already, but this, yeah, it was not working. It is random colours just because I wanted to play with all of the colours that I got, and there is some bleed through. You can't really see it because obviously I've covered it up with obviously the same sort of colour as what's on the background, but there was some bleed through from this page that I did like 4 years ago, and the Prismacolor and this pinky colour, I think this is the Process Red. I want to say it's the Process Red. Yeah, I think it is. But anyway, it's whatever colour that one was. I have got it written down somewhere, but it tends to bleed through the page after a while. And it's not the only book that it's done it in either. It has done it in, what book was it? Mouse Guard by David Peterson, and I believe one of Rita Berman's books as well. But it's fine because, as you can see, you can't really see it. Have managed to sort of hide a lot of it, but yeah. So I can't actually remember what I used. So other than the distress inks in the background, I did Neocolor 2s for this bit in here for like the dust. What else? We've got Prismacolors, which most of all this, and on the diamond or crystal, sorry, Posca, and some paint pens, which will be the black glitter that's on the stars there, which I'm not sure if that's picking up. It's kind of. So that was that one, Magical Dawn by Helen Shane. Next up we have Luna by Stratton Peterson. I love this book. I'm not really into astrology and things like that. I do apologise if I'm knocking the table. Yeah, I'm not really into astrology that much, but the pictures in here are absolutely stunning. So I just had to get this book. And the page that I did was The Howling Wolves. So as you can see here, one name for the first full moon of the year. The January moon is the wolf moon. So this was very fitting for January. So I used my Derwent Inktense pencils to base everything, and then I went over the top with shading with the Derwent Coloursoft pencils. There is some white Posca, and then there is some silver gel pen just on the snowflakes there. So I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle, but it is quite pretty. I loved colour in this one just because it's unusual colour palette, and I was kind of going off by this, but then I thought, oh, I kind of like these colours, so I sort of tried to do the same sort of thing but just stick to a very limited palette. And yeah, I really like this page. Is it the best page? Probably not, but I enjoyed colouring it, and that is the most important part. But this book, it is just stunning. So I have got this one marked for hopefully February. So this is the moon page for February, but I'm not really drawn to wanting to colour that one really, so I was thought about doing this one instead. I absolutely love moths, and my daughter is absolutely obsessed, especially the Luna moth. So that is Luna by Stratton Peterson. Next up we have Fragile World by Kirby Rosannes, and this is another one of my project books for the year. We have all of his books so far, and just absolutely stunning artwork. And the page I did was this polar bear. Now this page has received a lot of love over on Instagram. I'm not happy with this background. These Northern Lights, oh, they were a nightmare. They've been coloured in, they've been erased, they've been coloured in, they've been erased. I don't think there's any tooth left on that paper anymore. It's going to be fun trying to colour on the back, because I can feel that that's smoothed it out, how much I've gone over that. But I just had a nightmare, and in the end I thought, do you know what, enough is enough. You've just got to stick with it, and what it is what it is. But it's a learning curve, isn't it, at the end of the day? So I'm happy with it. I'm just not in love with it. But yeah, it could have been better. But I love the polar bears there, where it's got a bit of the light shining, and then the ice and the tops of the water. But yeah, it was fun to colour. But I used Neocolour 2s, which was based over the whole thing, and then shaded with Prismacolors. There is some white Posca to white out the black lines. Winsor & Newton ink, which just splattered, and I also used some Brute Funers just in there, just because it was easier to try, and where I'd rubbed a lot of stuff out, they were able to just keep on layering and layering, even though I'd basically ruined the tooth of the paper. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's not the best, but it was fun to colour, so that's what matters most. So that was Fragile World by Kirby Rosannes. Next up we have Matchstick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book, and I did two in here. So the first one I did was this one, the Northern Lights page, and I much prefer how this one turned out. However, it's still not perfect, but it was a lot better than the last page. It blended better, even though considering this is Amazon paper. But I learnt a few tricks once I'd done the last page. So yeah, so it's just basically Prismacolors all over, even the background. No alcohol markers. I do have some, but it's still a learning curve for me. And to me, alcohol markers are permanent. Pencil you can rub out. So I usually do like a light layer of pencil to get the rough placement of where I want things, and then I'll go in and burnish it in and things as I go. Whereas when you use the pens, it's there. Once you've done it, so you kind of have to roll with it. Again, it's a trust the process type thing, isn't it? So I will get there. But yeah, it's Prismacolors, and then there's some silver gel pen just on the stars, and I think I used the Winsor & Newton ink on there as well. And then I did this one, and I absolutely love the colour palette on this one. I love the sky, and yeah, I just love doing this one. So yeah, she's also going to be the same colour all the way throughout the book. So her fur is going to be the same, and she's going to have purple clothes all the way through, and the worms colours all the same. So I've just got them all recorded, the colours on the back, so that I can reference it and remember. But yeah, it's a lovely, lovely book though. I wanted to do this one, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time this month, not with all the other ideas that I've got. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous book. So that's Matchstick Mouse, the Big Adventure colouring book. And last but not least, we have Mouse Guard. Now we have 2 copies of this. 1 copy is mine and 1 copy is Shane's. And we take it in turns picking a page, and we basically buddy colour. So we have coloured a few in here now. Absolutely love David's work. It's just absolutely stunning. So I'm not sure whose book this is. I think this is Shane's, because he's got a little thing in there. So the page we did was this one. I think this was my choice of page this time. So this is Shane's version, and I think he used Prismacolors on this one. Let me just check. So yep, just Prisma pencils all over, nothing else. He's got no Posca or anything like that. So yep, I love the colours he chose for this one. I'm actually quite surprised he chose pink, to be fair. He hates that colour. But yeah, so that's Shane's version. I'm just going to pop that here for the minute. And then my version was this one. So what I'll do, hold on. Side by side. There we go. So mine was based with the Derwent Inktense pencils, and then I went over the top and shaded with Prismacolors, and that's what I'm doing throughout the whole book. The Inktense work on this amazingly. It is beautiful to work with. I might use Neocolours in the next one, because it takes water mediums really well. As you can see, it's not really buckled much. But yeah, it takes mediums really, really well. I've also used some glossy accents just on the eyes, just to make it a little bit 3D. So it's on the baby's ones as well. And then there is some Clearo metallic paint, and I do believe that's all I used on that one, and a bit of Posca in the background. But yeah, I enjoyed doing this one. But yeah, we both enjoy this book. And he's already made a start on our next one. I need to pull my finger out and get mine started, and hopefully have that done for February. So that was Mouse Guard by David Peterson. And that was the last pages that we coloured for January. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which page was your favourite and why. And if you're new, please subscribe. Until next time, bye for now.